Hello, and welcome back to Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I'm coming at you from the 256. Today I will be having my Week 16 NFL picks, but before I get to those, last week I went 9-7, so just above 500. I wish it would have been better. That puts me at 137 and 87 on the season. 137 wins, 87 losses. But let's go ahead and get to the Week 16 picks. The first game of the weekend, Saturday, December 22nd, this Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central. The Redskins will be at the Tennessee Titans, NFL Network. The Redskins, they got away with one. They beat the Jags last week. Tennessee has really turned it up. Obviously, they played the likes of the Giants and the Jags the last 2 weeks, but Derrick Henry has been a monster. Tennessee has been playing much better as of late, and it's time for them as a team. They should know it's time to. It's playoff push time. They should have been doing this a long time ago. Obviously, they wouldn't be in this situation, but they've been so inconsistent, which is what we've come to know out of Tennessee. But I think they'll get it done. I think they beat the Redskins. It's going to be hard for Tennessee to lose to the Redskins, in my opinion, at home. Top 10 defense, one of the better defenses in the league. Their offense isn't very good, but Derrick Henry's picked it up. The defense is really good. Just too much for the Redskins with their quarterback issues to go into Tennessee and beat the Titans. I'm taking Tennessee. The nightcap on Saturday, 8:20 Eastern, NFL Network again. You've got the Ravens visiting the LA Chargers. The Ravens, they're fighting for a playoff spot. They are currently in. As of now, the Chargers have already locked up a spot alongside the Chiefs, the only two in the AFC to lock up a spot. The Chargers, they want more. They look like they want more than to just make the playoffs. They look like they want to be the number one seed. They look like they want to win their division. They're just good. They don't have a home field advantage. They can't even have 30,000 people come to their home games currently until the new LA Stadium's done. The Ravens, they've been playing really great football with Lamar Jackson. They've been able to run the ball. The defense just stuffs you. But going to LA, the Chargers just want more than to be in the playoffs, in my opinion. So I'm going to take the Chargers over the Ravens. Just for the fact that I think the Chargers want more than to be in the playoffs for once. We've seen them struggle. We've seen them make the playoffs. We've seen them come into seasons, people expecting them to possibly compete for a Super Bowl, and they just lay a goose egg. But the Chargers want more than to just make the playoffs at this point. I'm going Chargers. The first game on Sunday, the 23rd, on CBS, 1 o'clock. You've got the Bengals visiting the Browns. The Bengals beat the Raiders. Not saying much. The Browns went 2 mile high, beat the Broncos. And the Browns, they still have a chance to make the playoffs. Sitting at 6-7-1, they've been playing amazing since they got rid of Hugh Jackson. And the Browns, the Bengals have no quarterback. I'm going Browns to pull out the victory over the Bengals on Sunday. The Buccaneers, we all saw the Fitzmagic. That was ages ago. Now the Cowboys, they went to Indianapolis and got absolutely pummeled. They got beat to a pulp. They got destroyed. They got shut out 23-0, I believe was the final. It doesn't matter. They got killed. But they go back home. They still lead the division. It's going to be really hard for them not to lose their division at this point. I think Cowboys get back on the winning track, and they beat the Bucs. Next, you have the Vikings at the Lions. Lions obviously eliminated from playoffs. Vikings, they currently hold the last spot in the NFC. They look like a team that knew that what they have to do last week against Miami, another team that was fighting for a wild card in the AFC. And I just don't think the Vikings drop one to the Lions on the road. The Vikings know what they need to do. They just got to make the playoffs. That's what they're fighting for, is to just make it at this point. And I don't see them losing to the Lions on Sunday. I take the Vikings. I'll take the Vikings in that one. Next, you have the Bills, who have more wins than I thought they would at this point. 5-9. That's about 3 more wins than I thought they'd have at this point. And then the Patriots, they obviously dropped one on the road in Pittsburgh last week. But the Patriots, still undefeated at home. They sit at 9-5. I don't think they drop one to the Bills at home. Give me the Patriots to win that football game. Next, you have the Packers at the Jets. A meaningless game, as both have been obviously eliminated from playoff contention. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers said he will play. The Jets, they played a close one against the Texans this past Saturday. But again, I think it's probably a closer game than you'd expect with Aaron Rodgers playing for Green Bay. But I think Green Bay, they finally pull one on the road. They get a victory on the road here, and they beat the Jets. Next, you have the Texans at the Eagles. The Texans, they win, and they win their division. The Eagles, they picked up a huge win with Nick Foles starting against the Rams. But I think it's too little too late for the Eagles. The Texans, they're just better than the Eagles right now. They went on the road and beat New York last week. I think they go on the road and they beat Philadelphia this week. Give me Houston to take down the Philadelphia Eagles. Next, we got the Falcons at the Panthers. The Panthers still have a chance to make the playoffs, but they announced today they are shutting down Cam Newton with those chances being so slim of them making the playoffs. And with that being said, the Falcons, they're playing for nothing at this point. They're just playing football to finish out the schedule. But the Panthers not playing Cam Newton, I'll take the Falcons on the road. They can score points. That's something the Panthers have struggled to do while losing 6 in a row, going from 6-2 to 6-8. Just absolutely crazy that team fell apart like that. I'll take Atlanta to steal one on the road in Carolina with Cam Newton not playing for the Panthers. Next, you have the Giants at the Colts. The Giants get another dose of an AFC South team. They got shut out by Tennessee at home last week, 17-0. They go on the road against a Colts team that just obliterated the Cowboys. The Colts know what they have to do. They win out. They have a very good chance to make the playoffs, much like Tennessee. And I'll go Colts here. I think it sets up a Week 17 matchup between the Colts and the Titans to see who is going to the playoffs. I believe the Colts will win that. They'll both come into that game. If it goes according to how I'm saying, Tennessee and the Indianapolis will both be 9-6, setting up that final week matchup to see who gets the last spot in the AFC. But I will go Colts over Giants to set up a huge matchup with Tennessee in Week 17. Indianapolis and Andrew Luck win that football game. Next, you have the Jags and the Dolphins. Dolphins still fighting for a playoff shot. It's a very long shot at this point. Jags, a massive disappointment this year, obviously. They'll be in the market for a quarterback this offseason, most definitely. The Dolphins, up and down, they've looked really good. They've looked really bad. But the Jags, they are just terrible. The Jags are absolutely awful. Dolphins at home, still playing for something, even though it's a slim something. They're still playing for possible playoff berth. I'll go Miami Dolphins to beat the Jags. Now on to the afternoon games. 4:05 Eastern on Fox. You got the Rams visiting the Cardinals. I don't think there's much you have to say about this game. The Rams could probably start their second string and still blow them out. Cardinals are the worst offense in the league by far. They just can't do anything offensively. I think the LA Rams win very easily over the Arizona Cardinals. Next, you got the Bears visiting the 49ers. 49ers took one from Seattle last week. The Bears have locked up their division, so they're guaranteed a playoff spot at this point. I think they're guaranteed a top 3 seed at this point. But Chicago, their defense is just too good. Trubisky does what he needs to do. The running game has done what it needs to do the last several weeks, but I think the Bears' defense alone is enough to get them past the 49ers. I'll take Chicago over San Francisco. Next, you got the Steelers at the Saints. I do expect a very good high-scoring game out of this, but I think it goes in favor of the Saints. The Saints take another step towards claiming that number 1 seed. I believe they'll have that number 1 seed if they win this game. The Steelers, I think they drop a close, high-scoring game in New Orleans. They'll still hold the lead because I do believe in the division, because I do believe the Ravens will fall to the Chargers on Saturday. But the Steelers, still just they could still miss the playoffs at that point. With a loss, they could still be in jeopardy of losing, falling out of the playoffs. But I don't see that happening. But in this game, I think the Saints get it done and basically lock up that number 1 seed in the NFC. I'll go New Orleans. Next, we have the Chiefs at the Seahawks. This is one that's almost a coin flip for me. Seattle, they still need to keep winning football games to be in the playoffs. Right now, I believe they are the 5 seed in the NFC, so they have a little bit of cushion, but not much. But the Chiefs lost a close one at the end of the game on a 2-point conversion to the Chargers last week. They're still playing for the 1 seed. They still are the 1 seed right now. But it'll be either, in my opinion, it'll be them or the Chargers that will be the 1 seed in the AFC. But like I said, this is going to be a close game. The Seahawks need to win. They know they need to win. The Chiefs, they want to lock up home field advantage because it's either 1 seed or wild card for the Chiefs this year, with them being in the same division as Kansas. As the LA Chargers. But I'm going Chiefs. Close football game on Sunday Night Football, but the Chiefs, they're just a little bit better when it counts in that football game. I'll take Kansas City over Seattle. Close. Very, very close. And then Monday night, a game that nobody really cares about because it's meaningless at this point. The Raiders, I haven't picked them all season. I picked them last week, and they failed to win. The Broncos, I picked them, and they failed me as well. The Broncos, not even 2 weeks ago, still had a chance at the playoffs. Then they lost to the Browns this past Saturday, and that was shut down. But I'm going Broncos. I can't pick the Raiders because when I have, they didn't win. And the Broncos, they're just a better team. The Raiders are a complete rebuild mode. But I'll go Denver. I'll go Denver over Oakland on Monday Night Football. But that is my picks for Week 16 of the NFL slate. And that's all 16 games. Obviously, every team's playing. But that's it. Let me know what you're thinking for this weekend's games down in the comments below. Leave a like, share the content, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, as well as all the others that I put out there. But this has been Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar. Look forward to seeing you all in the next video.